Well, for more, Arsen Otrvsky joins us now from Tel Aviv. He's an international human rights lawyer and a political analyst. Thanks so much for speaking to us. You've said that this is actually a sad day for Israel, but at the same time, like every dark cloud has a silver lining. So explain your reaction to this near indictment of the Prime Minister.
Thank you, first of all, for having me. I think you're right to know that it is a near indictment. It's not actually a formal indictment. It's more or less an announcement of an intention to indict in the future, but also pending a hearing. But you're right. I think yesterday, in many ways, was a very difficult and very painful day for the people and for the state of Israel. On the one hand, there are many who view this as, in many ways, as I think the final step on the road to justice, to removing the Prime Minister. On the other hand, there are those who consider it as, I suppose, as an unprecedented act of political interference, as the Prime Minister suggested, a witch hunt of sorts, or an attempt to oust a democratically elected leader. I think at the end we're entering into some truly uncharted waters, really just a month out of elections, with Israeli society and this campaign becoming increasingly polarized. You'll see the next month or so becoming very passionate in many ways. It'll be a very forceful campaign from both sides. But at the end of the day, like you said, there's a silver lining, and in many ways, I think many Israelis also look at this as a very proud day and as a reaffirmation, I suppose, of our democratic principles, of the rule of law. That at the end of the day, that no one is above the law, not even the Prime Minister.
Exactly.
And at the same time, we do still have the presumption of innocence until proven guilty.
Right. I mean, tell us, though, from your standpoint, how serious are the allegations? Would most Israelis agree that if guilty, these are actual crimes worthy of punishment?
Look, again, there's no easy answer to this. We often say, two Israelis and you'll get 3 or 4 opinions. Many will say yes. The charges include a breach of trust and bribery, which are, quite serious allegations. Many are saying that a Prime Minister that's not even indicted, but that's under investigation, and that cannot fully dedicate himself 24/7 to a job that requires their full attention, should not be in a position of making these decisions and governing the country. But on the other hand, as I noted, many also view this as an act of political interference. This short period before an election as an attempt to oust the leader who people have not been able to oust, in 3 previous elections, which he has won. So there are many opposing points of views. On the one hand, some say yes, he should resign immediately, including from members of the opposition parties and those that are vying to be Prime Minister. But on the other hand, there are many who, do also believe that yes, this is an act of political interference, and yes, he's also entitled to a presumption of innocence as well. So there's no clear answer.
Israel has already seen some very high-profile politicians be tried for a number of crimes. Some have gone to prison. But what feeling are you getting about Netanyahu himself? What are the chances that he would actually see a jail cell?
We're a very long way away from that. The Attorney General has only just announced an intention to indict. Right. He hasn't actually indicted. The Prime Minister has not been charged. He said that he's announced what the charges would be, what his intentions to charge him with are. But that is also pending a hearing at some point in the future, possibly later in the year, but definitely after the elections. And pending this hearing, where the Prime Minister will have a chance to respond to the actual indictments, and then the Attorney General will have to decide whether to formally indict him, and if so, on what charges, at which point then it will go towards a full hearing. But we're quite a long way away from that, and the Prime Minister he's not going anywhere, certainly not voluntarily, and he is very much insisting that there is nothing to these charges, that it is a witch hunt, and that he will clear his name.
Okay, Arsen, we're going to have to leave it there. But thank you really so much for joining us live from Tel Aviv.